it's Phil from the Men They Couldn't Hang here, and I just wanted to say a few words and a few memories about Phil Chevron. It was a privilege to know Phil, and I'm proud to count him amongst my friends. So, looking back, I first got to know Phil way back in the early 80s when he was working in Rocks Off, a great record shop in London, and myself and Kush used to go in there in the afternoons and spend the afternoon chatting with Phil, listening to different types of music that he'd put on, just having a good crack. And Shane McGowan was in there, working in there as well from time to time. So we would be in there, you know, listen to stuff, and then when the shop closed, we'd go just down the road a little bit to a pub there and carry on the conversation. Sometimes we didn't even wait to go to the pub, and we might have had a little crafty drink in the shop, but we were sort of talking about, you know, our plans for the future, what we were doing and all this sort of thing. And kind of as a result of that, Phil Chevron invited Elvis Costello along to a gig that the Men They Couldn't Hang were doing at the Clarendon in Hammersmith. And Elvis was impressed enough with Phil's recommendation to offer us a record deal, to make an album. So we made an album. Phil produced half the tracks on that album. And one of the tracks, The Green Fields of France, was a big live favourite of ours, and that became the first single and did really well, and kind of set the kind of groundwork, if you like, for the future of the band. And we're still going and still making records, and I like to think that a lot of that is down to Phil's excellent ear for music and his skills as a producer. I remember that when we were making that album as well, it was his idea to bring in Tom Keane, an Ilian pipe player. So Tom came in to play on one of the tracks, and it was Phil's idea to just let Tom kind of play it right off from the off, kind of live to the track in one single take. We stood inside the studio with Tom while he was playing his part, and we had headphones on, so we were hearing the backing track and like hearing the pipes being played right there in front of us. And I just remember I was sort of overwhelmed with the sound and the beauty of what he was playing, and I really started getting kind of emotional about it, and I was sort of trying to kind of keep it under, probably because I didn't want to embarrass myself. And I kind of looked round to Phil, who stood next to me, just really to see if he'd noticed I was getting in this sort of emotional state. But then I could see Phil was also getting emotional, so I thought, oh well, you know, it's not just me then. And then carrying on, you know, we finished that album, and then Phil said, oh, you know, I'm producing an album for Agnes Bernelle, and he said, do you want to come along to the studio for that and do some backing vocals? So I'd never really heard music like that before, not properly. So we went to the studio, and it was Phil, me, Kush, and I think Elvis Costello as well, and we all ran one microphone and started singing the backing vocals to these various Agnes Bernelle songs. But it's a thing that happens occasionally. We just kind of got into the giggle. So it's the opposite emotion to the one with Tom Keane. We're trying to keep that under and trying to get through a song without bursting into laughter. So someone suggested, have a drink, have a break now, have a drink, and then get back to it. So we had a break, had a drink, and I think it kind of got rid of the giggles, but we were a little bit more solemn about things, but a bit more slurry. And I was listening back to that album the other day, and it sounds amazing. I feel it was, you know, just such a great producer. As I say, a great ear. Ironically, he was deaf in one ear, so you couldn't hear in stereo when he was doing those. But and then shortly after that Phil joined up with the Pogues. So the Men They Couldn't Hang and the Pogues were often doing gigs together. So then I saw another side of Phil. I saw him, you know, as a performer, and he was dynamic and electric on stage. He was really something else, and he really added a new edge to the Pogues. But also, he added this song that I'm going to have a go at now. So I know I can't do it justice. I'm going to do it in my own style, but in my mind, this is my favourite Pogue song written by Phil. The reason why I love it is I love the story behind it all. I love the lyrics. I love the poetry of the storytelling, and just everything about it is shows the true craftsmanship of songwriting that Phil had. So let's see how I get on with it. The island it is silent now, the ghosts still haunt the waves, and the torch lights up a famished man who fortune could not save. Did you work upon the railroad? Did you rid the streets of crime? Were your dollars from the White House? Were they from the 5 and dime? Did the old songs so touch you? Did they still make you cry? Did you count the months and years? Or did your teardrops quickly dry? Oh no, said he, it was not to be. On a coffin ship I came here, and I never even got so far that they could change my name. Thousands are sailing across the western ocean to a land of opportunity. Some of them will never see fortune prevailing across the western ocean. Their bellies full and their spirits free. They'll break the chains of poverty and they'll dance. La 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 la. Manhattan's desert twilight, on the death of afternoon, we step hand in hand on Broadway, like the first man on the moon. And the blackbird broke the silence as you whistled it so sweet. And in Brandon Bean's footsteps I danced up and down the street. Well, then we said goodnight to Broadway, giving it our best regards. Tip our hats to Miss Cohen, dear old Times Square's favorite bars. Then we raised a glass to JFK and a dozen more beside. When I got back to my empty room, I suppose I must have cried. Thousands are sailing again across the ocean, for the hand of opportunity draws a ticket in the lottery. Postcards we're mailing for sky blue skies and oceans, from rooms that daylight never sees, and lights don't glow on Christmas trees. And we'll dance to the music, we'll dance. La 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 la. We'll dance, yeah, dance. La 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 la. Thousands are sailing again across the ocean, with a hand of opportunity draws a ticket in a lottery. Where we go we celebrate the land that makes us refugees from fear of priests and empty plates and guilt and weeping effigies. And we dance to the music, we dance. La 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 la. We dance to the music, we dance. La 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 la. We dance, oh we dance. La 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 la. La 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 la. For Phil Chevron, thanks for all the brilliant songs and good times. Cheers.